today you are seeing me from a different angle because we are doing what has now become my annual look back on did I actually read these? Reacting to 2022 anticipated release. Well, I haven't been reacting to 2022 reacting to anticipated release video. I think this is the third time that I've done this. So I purposely did not look up my stats because I want to have a fresh reaction to how good or bad I did. And yeah, okay, so just like normal, we're gonna do my whiteboard and we've got 4 quadrants. We're gonna watch my first 2022 anticipated release video and we are going to see, did I read it and like it? Did I read it and not like it? Did I not read it but I'm still interested? Or did I not read it but I am no longer interested in? Ideally, unread and uninterested will be 0%. Because that means I either read it or I'm still interested in it. So that would be ideal. And ideally, read and liked would be 100%. Like I read them all and I liked them all. We'll see what happens. So let me navigate over to the video. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's always weird going back to a year earlier on my channel because I can tell what font I was really into at the time from my thumbnail. Kind of getting a rut with fonts. Anyway. Oh God, it's 31 minutes. And also, sorry, I just realized that for the audio, I need to have my little earphone-aroos in here. Oop, it's connected to the wrong one. Oh my gosh, what a saga. Okay, so finally have the setup working because I think I have to get new earphones because these just don't connect properly to anything anymore. So we were wired in to a different viewing device and I'm hitting play now.
Hello. Today we are doing the first of 3 most anticipated book videos.
And we're gonna speed this up to 1.5 times speed because this is a long video.
I just love making these. I think they're so fun. If it wouldn't be such a huge part of my overall content output, I would probably do this like every.
I continue to love making them, that is true.
First 2022 anticipated book video. I think that this is going to end up being kind of an unusual list or sort of a weirdly weighted list because I think that because of supply chain issues and the pandemic, we are just continuing to see that impact book release schedules that started in 2020 and I honestly think it's still going on. I'm seeing books that I thought were going to come out over the last couple of years that are still pending release and right now are targeted for 2022, but we will see. And also I've noticed that some of these sources that
I would agree with that because I think we're just now-ish getting back to normal. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that we're still struggling to actually have
and we'll all just kind of roll with it, which is basically
a normal release schedule, but I think we're getting closer in 2023 back to normal.
Mention that the front list that I tend to keep my eye on in terms of new releases versus reading older things in terms of genre tends to be nonfiction, sci-fi fantasy, mystery thriller, and romance. So if you are not interested in any of those, then
the reason I always include this disclaimer, I should tell you, is because I inevitably get people complaining that I'm not talking about the genres they're interested in. So this is my attempt to get them to click off early.
Sequels. So I'll get a new Side Changeling book. Usually that.
Yes. Okay. I read and liked the Side Changeling book.
Yet, but obviously I'm looking forward to that. I have a whole podcast.
It was great.
That series. There are a few Alona Andrews books that have been pending release for a while. Again, in theory, we might be getting the second Iron.
Nope. Didn't come out.
It sounds like that is pretty.
So I'm going to put that in the corner. Didn't come out.
Working on it, but that could come out in 2022, as well as the next book for the other spinoff series from Kate Daniels, which centers around Julie and her new life.
That also did not come out.
Things that could happen from Alona Andrews. Rebecca Roanhorse is supposed to be releasing more books in the Sixth World series at some point. Maybe that will happen.
Nope, none of those came out.
I really enjoyed that series. And
still waiting for those.
Further with our characters in that series, so that could happen. And then Talia Hibbert has an untitled first entry in the series.
Oh, that also did not come out.
I know nothing about that, but I love Talia Hibbert, and so I have that on my radar. Love on the Brain is going to be the next release from Ali Hazelwood, whose Love Hypothesis.
Read and enjoyed that one.
So definitely anticipating
somewhat controversially.
And then there's also a release from Rosie Danan without a clear date yet.
That got pushed to 2023, so that did not come out. Man, we got 5 already that did not come out.
That new book might be like. And we are also, I'm assuming, going to be getting the next entry in the Murderbot Diary series from Martha Wells in 2022.
No, that did not come out in 2022. That got pushed to 2023, so that is 6 total. That got pushed to 2023.
That I have arcs for and I've gone ahead and read. We have Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins.
Read and enjoyed that one.
That is an isolated closed circle.
Just fun, like brain candy fun.
Another one that comes out on January 4th is the next installment in the Wayward Children
Yes, I read and enjoyed that one. Doing good so far.
What this one's about. It kind of isn't.
Of the 10 books mentioned, they've either all not come out or I've read and liked them.
And then the last one on January 4th is The Maid.
Oh yeah, also read and enjoyed that one.
One of my favorite contemporary cozies I've ever read. I gave this 4 stars and probably would have given it 4.5 if there wasn't for like a couple of off notes for me at the very, very end. But overall,
and it won the Goodreads Choice Awards in 2022.
So this is definitely more on the cozy end of things, but it wasn't twee, which is what sometimes can put me off.
It's true, it wasn't twee. I agree with that.
Is also a release from Laura Lippman.
Oh yeah, I read and liked that one.
It's called Seasonal Work.
Dude, we're crushing it so far.
Then a few things on January 11th. We have A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham.
I read and liked that.
And it is a thriller set in a small town in Louisiana.
Okay.
And it's sort of like a Secrets from the Past. These girls went.
I'm still not clear why this got optioned. Like, it was fine, it was good, but I didn't think it was that exceptional. I don't know.
Also, Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lin.
Ooh, yeah.
Like a fantasy duology, and it is a retelling.
Would I say I liked or disliked this one?
And I personally love folktale retellings of any kind.
I'm gonna put this in dislike, not because I hated it. I gave it 3 stars, but I was really expecting I was gonna love it, so I think I was pretty disappointed I didn't love it. So I'm gonna put that one in the dislike.
I mentioned they're coming out on January 18th. One is Electric Idol by Katie Robert, which is
I did not read it, and I'm not interested.
erotic urban fantasy.
I think that version of Katie Robert is not for me. I do like her series that started with The Dragon Bride. I do want to keep reading in that one.
A Core for is the 3rd book in her.
Oh, yes. Read and enjoyed Akata Woman.
They're very imaginative and like evocative in a way that
Yeah, and it's like the first one's a middle grade, the second one's YA, and this one read like new adult. So I think that's cool in this series too.
called Akata Woman. I'm wondering if it's going to be sort of more new adult, but I'm very excited.
Yeah, it was more new adult.
Highland Wolf is the latest release in the Highlander series.
Oh yeah. Fun, campy nonsense. Loved it.
But very fun, very rompy. They always have a murder mystery at the heart of the plot. They always have these like hot, dumb, fun
Okay.
warrior guys and these hot, dumb.
We're still doing pretty good here, guys.
And then an author whose podcasting work I very much enjoy is Dana Stevens, and she is releasing her biography.
Oh yeah, I am still interested in this. I think I bought the audiobook. But I have not yet read it, so that's unread and interested.
Monroe by Cresley Cole. Now look, this has been sort of
I read it. Yeah, I liked it. It wasn't the best in the series. It was fine. I was mostly just excited that it finally came out. And I hope there'll be more, I guess. Like, I want her to finish the series, but I didn't think it was amazing, but it was not disappointing.
Several times, and then it's been pushed. I think I've heard that people have actually seen like.
Though if I loved the series, I bet I would be more disappointed in it.
Maybe I misunderstood a tweet, but
it's a series I like but don't love. It's very inconsistent in my opinion.
The anthology that I have as an arc and I'm very excited to read is called Black Love.
Oh yeah, I read and liked that one. With most things that are a collection or anthology, it's not always consistent in quality, but there are some real gems in that. I really enjoyed it.
But last night I finished reading Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston, which I really enjoyed.
Ooh, yes. And
which is Amari.
I did read that.
And I definitely think you probably need to read the first one.
And I can't tell you what I think about it because it's a HarperCollins title, and as of this filming, they are still on strike.
And then on the 8th, we have the Next in Death book by J.D. Robb, which is Abandoned in Death.
Read and enjoyed that one, yes.
Nonfiction pick on the 15th of February that intrigued me is called Index, A History of the Book.
Oh yeah, Index. I am still interested in that. I have it on my library audio TBR, so I'll probably get to it eventually. But I have not yet. So, whatever that means.
And I'm hoping it's going to be as fun as the premise says it's going to be. And that is the Paradox Hotel by...
Oh yeah, I read and enjoyed that one. Okay, we're doing pretty good so far, guys. I have a lot of these I read. Now, granted, so far we're still early in the year for the releases, so I guess that makes sense, but I actually read and liked a lot of these so far.
This is exactly my kind of a book. Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey.
Yes, I read and enjoyed that one. Not super memorable. I ended up unhauling it for that reason, but I thought it was a good version of what it was. Tessa Bailey is a little hit or miss for me, but
Tessa Bailey is like the queen of dirty talk. If you've read any of her independently published stuff, I think
I will say I think I like her independently published stuff more than her traditional published stuff, from what I can tell. I think it's more distinctive, but I also know she has gotten into some controversy, so go watch Jess's video if you... I think she did a TikTok or something about that at some point.
Next book out from Alex Finlay, which is called The Night Shift.
Yeah, I did read and like that one. I don't think it was as good as Every Last Fear, but I thought it was enjoyable. Like, it was an enjoyable one. I've got another book on my TBR from him for this year.
We'll see if there's a sophomore slump. But 9 Lives by Peter Swanson. So I am really excited. I mean, I keep saying that.
Okay.
I take a shot every time I say that. But very excited for the setup of this one. A group
Controversially, I read and enjoyed this one. Is it good?
And if this book delivers on that premise,
maybe not, but I thought this was fun.
8 Perfect Murders from him a couple of years ago. So
I don't know. I get why people didn't like it, but I had fun in this one, so I controversially read and liked that one.
A bunch of mysteries that I'm looking forward to. So
it just was entertaining, which is what I wanted from it. So
G.G. Pandian, and this one,
yes, Under Lock and Skeleton Key, read, and yeah, I like that one pretty well, especially for a cozy, which is a little more hit or miss for me. So
the next release from Simone St. James, who wrote one of my all-time favorite mystery thrillers, which
oh yeah, the Book of Cold Cases. I read and liked that one. It's probably my least favorite of the 3 Simone St. Jameses I've read, but that's because I gave the other 2 4.5 and 5 stars. So I gave this one 4 stars. It was still really good. I have more books from her that I'm like slowly
into, and she
gonna try to read because she just.
So I have confidence she will be able to do that well.
She just gives me what I want, I guess, from that kind of book.
The last one I have on my radar for March is The Resting Place by Camilla Stone.
Oh, I did. I read that one. I thought that one was good too. Guys!
So just keep that in mind. I know that's a pro.
What? I am...
Is that our heroine's grandmother was...
I'm crushing this. I have 20 of these books that I have read and liked so far.
First we have To Marry and to Meddle by Martha.
Yep, I read and liked that one.
Third book in her historical...
I really like her. I feel like...
really love Martha Waters.
That might be a slightly unpopular opinion. I don't know. I've enjoyed that series. There's another one coming out this year. I think I requested an arc of it, but I haven't gotten it yet, so.
But I think was knocked down by some well-meaning but poorly handled intention versus impact here, elements around a...
That's right. I think some people got really turned off by the representation in the second book, which is fair. It did not have those problems in the third book. The third book was probably the best one for me so far.
A sequel from Mia Sosa to The Worst...
Oh yeah, The Wedding Crasher. That was really good.
Really charming rom-com that I think...
Read and liked that one.
And had like an enemies to lovers kind of...
I gave Mom Like Whoa the first book in that series for Christmas because I think she might like Mia Sosa's writing.
Then on April 19th we have Go Hex Yourself.
Yes, Go Hex Yourself. This was one of my favorite books of last year. And I just read the sequel, and I really loved it too, even though I don't think it's as good quality-wise, but I love this series so much.
So on April 19th is Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse.
Okay, again, I really liked Fevered Star, somewhat of a controversial opinion, but I just love Rebecca Roanhorse, and we're getting the final book in that series, I think in August this year, so I love that we just did Boom Boom Boom, a trilogy over 3 years.
Smoke and Steel by Mila Vane.
Love it.
This is the third full novel, A Gathering of...
Oh my god. This book is my new Tessa Dare. Just keeps getting pushed out. Now it's supposed to come out November of 2023. We'll see.
And on May 3rd, there is Book Lovers by Emily Henry coming out, which is...
Book Lovers. Read and enjoyed that one.
This one is set between 2 professional rivals in the...
Oh yeah, I need to get to... I have the Happy Place as an arc, and I need to read that. Maybe I'll make that a priority this month. Actually, I probably should make that a priority this month. Future Mara, make sure you read that in February.
And then on the 10th is a book called Set on You by Amy Lee, which is...
Yep, Set on You. Read and enjoyed.
She's like a plus-size fitness influencer, and I think it's like a rom...
I felt like that was under Sun last year.
I've seen really good blurbing on this, and...
If you like a true rom-com, I definitely recommend Set on You.
And then Something Wilder is coming out on May 17th.
Something Wilder, I read and enjoyed. Yeah, it was sort of like action-adventure-y. But not very memorable now that I'm thinking about it.
But also there's romance.
I enjoyed it when I was reading it, but I don't really remember much about it now that I'm thinking back on it.
On June, moving into June.
Okay, we're already in June.
One called The Woman.
Woman in the Library! That's one I really liked, which I think, again, is kind of a controversial opinion. It was a little bit polarizing, but I was on the pole of really liking it, because...
There are 4 people who were...
It just, I don't know. I love a book within a book. I liked that there was a romance because it gave it a slightly less cynical, serious tone, which is generally why I like them in a mystery. So yeah, controversially, I enjoyed that one.
Another one in June on my radar right now is American Royalty by Tracy Lives.
Oh yeah, I didn't end up reading that.
The Prince Harry, Meghan Markle story.
Prince Harry. I'm a little,
I'm never sure. I've never actually read something from her.
Now that I've said that, I'm gonna put that in unread and uninterested.
So this one is
I'm
definitely...
a little burned from the Scary Monarchist in my comment section of the Prince Harry spare review I did, so.
Moving into July is...
Not the book's fault.
Slaughter. This comes out on July 12th. And
Yes, I read it, enjoyed, bet on it.
Hang it out.
But again, I don't remember much about it. I remember it being pretty high quality,
Is another author I've been
but not very memorable to me. I don't know.
Independently published stuff or self-published stuff. So
Oh yeah, I should go back and read some of her indie stuff because I've seen really good reviews from people about that.
to jump in and see what her writing's like. 3 in a row where it's like, oh, that's an author I've been meaning to try, and I guess this is my opportunity to try something from them. The other July release on my radar is Booked on a Feeling by J.C. Lee.
Oh yeah, I didn't end up reading that one.
A little blurb for it, which is
And I didn't hear a lot of buzz about it, so I'm gonna say I am not interested in that one either anymore.
so I'm surmising it may be a friends to lovers rom-com set in a small town with a bookstore involved, and like all of that seemed like
Yeah, those are all elements I like. I don't know, contemporary romance was hard for me last year.
by Alona Andrews. This is the third in her
Oh yes, that was one of my favorites of the year.
legacy series, the third in the second trilogy. Things left off.
I've read in like 30 of these so far, guys.
To find out what happened.
Crushed it this year.
I have definite theories, I'm sure we all do, but very excited for that. And then the latest from R.F. Kuang comes out on the 23rd, and that is called Babel, or the
I also read and enjoyed that one.
History of the Oxford Translators Revolution. And this is
Though I'm surprised as many people liked that as
so fantasy based in some
did,
kind of real history.
because it felt pretty niche. It doesn't surprise me when people tell me they don't like Babel. I haven't watched Leona's rant about it because I don't want to get my feelings hurt, but
I'm very excited to see her
Yeah.
in a new series.
I'm surprised that as many people like that as did.
I feel like her
But I was one of them. It was sort of like Dickensian.
book. So
Dickensian fantasy.
I believe it's a standalone,
With
what that ends up being like.
Critiques of imperialism.
Is The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes.
Ew, the final gambit. I'm gonna say I read and disliked it. Again, similarly to Daughter of the Moon Goddess, it's not that I hated it, but I had really high expectations for it, and it did not meet my expectations. So I gave it like a 3-star. It was fine. This was my least favorite Jennifer Lynn Barnes series I've read by a long shot.
Coming out on August 2nd. And this is a new Karen Rose entry in her
Oh yeah. I wouldn't say I disliked it, so I'm gonna say I liked it, but it was only fine.
Is the long-anticipated third book in the Cheque Files series
Oh.
from Daniel O'Malley, and it is called
Yeah,
Now,
Blitz.
The first book in the series is one of my all-time favorite books. It's probably top 10.
Probably my least favorite of the series so far, so I'm gonna have to say disliked, even though, again, it's not terrible, but it was disappointing. All of my ones I've read and disliked, I gave 3 stars because I was expecting to love them a lot more than I did.
But we've been waiting for it for a few years, and I don't know.
Oh my god. Am I done?
That is where
You guys!
as of this November.
Okay, let's do the stats real quick. Okay, sorry, I had to do some math and some research on past years. Now, first of all, I've now been doing this video 3 years in a row. So that means I have 3 years worth of data, and therefore I can make some year-over-year charts, which is really the whole reason to do this video. Am I right? So I thought that there were more books on this, like a lot more books on this than there were the last 2 ones I reacted to, and there were more, so I had 47 books total on this list, which is more than the last 2 years, which were 42 and 40 respectively. So it is a bigger sample size, which is driving up some of these numbers because the rest is not as extreme as I would have guessed. So of these books, 7 did not come out. So I excluded them from my sample size, and that was 14.89% of these were unpublished, which is down from 20% last year, but still a good chunk of them. And I think, if I'm remembering rightly, for my first 2023 anticipated video, I don't think I included ones that I wasn't decently confident were going to come out this year, so this may go down the next time I do this video. So but roughly 15% of the ones I had on my list are still unpublished. Of all of these that I could have read, this is where I did do a much better job. So I read 87.5% of the ones that I could have, which is up from 59.5 in the first year I did this, and it's up from 71.9 when I did this last year. So that chart is trending in a great direction. I do know that when I made, looking at the list, when I made the video, I had gotten a lot of the arcs that I had requested. So I wonder if some of this is representative of the fact that I just get most arcs that I'm looking for nowadays. Maybe that's helping drive up my percent read, because throwing my marker around here, if I ask for an arc, unless I just hate it, I'm gonna read it. So yeah, so maybe that's helping my overall read percentage. And then in terms of uninterested and unread and uninterested, so books I did not read and I'm no longer interested in reading, lowest it's ever been. So it is at 7.5% because only 3 of them am I no longer interested in reading. So I only had 2 that are unread that I'm still interested in, and actually I own one and I have the other one as a library TBR, so I probably will get to them eventually. Both of those were nonfiction, and since I've struggled to do as much audio listening in the last few years as I used to, that's probably part of why I didn't get to them. But yeah, so there's that. But interestingly, in terms of my read and liked percentage, it is the lowest it's been so far, but not by much. So the first year, 92% of what I read I liked. The next year, last year, it was 95.6%, and this year it is 91.42. So roughly like in the 90s, I'm reading like what I get to I like. So that's pretty good. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm no longer shocked that I did well, but I read a lot of the ones that were on that list. I'm pretty pumped about that. Let me know how you guys did reading 2022 new releases, if you are somebody who reads new releases and cares about that at all. Here's hoping that next year is as good as it was this year. Fingers crossed. But yeah, that'll do it for this video. So, if you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, follow me on the social medias if you are so inclined. I have all that information listed in the description box below, and I think that will do it. I hope you're having an absolutely lovely day today, and I will just talk to you soon. Bye!